67 buildings destroyed by fire in Berbice from January to September. In a concerning report, Divisional Fire Officer Clive MacDonald revealed that approximately 67 structures were lost to fire in Regions 5 and 6 of Berbice between January and September 2025. The announcement was made during a church service that marked the beginning of Fire Prevention Month. This year's theme for Fire Prevention Month is Let's Prevent Fires, for the development of a safer nation. MacDonald highlighted that the fire department received a total of 264 emergency calls in the two regions, with 67 of those related to private homes, resulting in 105 individuals becoming homeless. The causes of the fires varied, and MacDonald urged citizens to take proactive measures for fire safety. I encourage all citizens of this division, Berbice, to install and maintain smoke alarms and fire extinguishers, and to practice a fire escape plan that includes at least 2 ways out of every room, he stated. As the dry season poses a heightened risk for wildfires, he further advised residents to clear combustible vegetation and adhere to fire safety practices to minimize risks. Notably, on September 25th, an electrical fire devastated the home of Sheni Isa Yusuf in Crabwood Creek, Quarantine Berbice, displacing 9 individuals. MacDonald expressed his condolences to all those affected by fire this year. In light of Fire Prevention Month, MacDonald shared essential fire prevention tips for workplaces and schools, emphasizing the importance of keeping flammable materials away from heat sources, never leaving cooking unattended, checking firefighting systems, and using electrical equipment according to manufacturer guidelines for proper installation and maintenance. The fire department continues to advocate for community awareness and preparedness to ensure the safety of all residents in Berbice. $100,000 fine. Guyana Police Force issues strict warning against stopping on Barrett Jagdeo Demerara River Bridge. The Guyana Police Force has issued a clear warning to motorists regarding traffic regulations on the Barrett Jagdeo Demerara River Bridge. Authorities are urging motorists to adhere to the rules and maintain safe driving practices. The police have expressed concern over the potential hazards caused by unexpected stops, especially given the bridge's speed limit of 80 kilometers per hour. Residents and commuters are encouraged to report any violations or suspicious behavior on the bridge to the authorities, helping to maintain safety and order on this critical infrastructure. The Guyana Police Force reiterates its commitment to ensuring the safety of all road users and emphasizes that adhering to traffic laws is vital for preventing accidents and saving lives. Housing Ministry and GFC partner for sustainable Silica City development. The Ministry of Housing, through the Central Housing and Planning Authority, CHNPA, is advancing its collaboration with the Guyana Forestry Commission, GFC, to promote sustainable development in Silica City. During a recent site visit led by Minister Honorable Vanessa Ben, officials from both agencies assessed key areas earmarked for new facilities, including a health hub and a golf course. CHNPA's Chief Development Planner, Ms. Jermaine Stewart, emphasized that the initiative aims to ensure that Silica City is designed with sustainability in mind, enhancing the natural environment. GFC Commissioner Mr. Edward Goberthand noted that their partnership will focus on preservation and encourage the use of local timber in housing construction. CHNPA Senior Engineer Mr. Randolph Hunt added that this collaboration will help establish partnerships with timber suppliers and regulate timber prices for the National Housing Program. GFC's Ryan Day highlighted the Commission's role in tree tagging and developing community-friendly green spaces for families. Also present during the visit were Mr. Ravan Singh from the Office of the First Lady, CHNPA's surveyor Mr. Shaquille Mayers, and other technical staff. This partnership aligns with the government's low-carbon development strategy, reinforcing its commitment to sustainable, people-centered urban growth. Completion works begin on northern side of 4-lane approach road to Barrett Jagdeo Demerara River Bridge. The Ministry of Public Works wishes to inform the general public that following the official opening of the Barrett Jagdeo Demerara River Bridge on the evening of October 5, 2025, and the subsequent closure of the Demerara Harbor Bridge, work will now commence to complete the northern section of the 4-lane approach road at Mirzorjan. With the bridge now operational, the contractor has been granted full access to undertake the final phase of road construction. This includes the completion of 2 additional lanes on the northern side of the approach road, aimed at facilitating smoother and more efficient traffic flow to and from the new bridge. Beginning today, October 7, 2025, the contractor will work around the clock to ensure timely completion of this critical infrastructure. The ministry anticipates that the works will be completed within 2 weeks. During this period, motorists and residents in the vicinity are advised to exercise caution and follow all traffic advisories and signage for their safety and the safety of construction workers. The Ministry of Public Works thanks the public for its patience and cooperation as we swiftly finalize this important national project. A key step in improving connectivity, reducing travel time, and supporting economic growth across the Demerara region. Regional Division Number 3 ranks impress in quarterly inspection. Standards of discipline and professionalism were showcased during the quarterly inspections conducted by Assistant Superintendent K. Williams at the Den Amstel, Tushen, and Zeelugt outposts. All ranks appeared smartly in uniform, with compounds and barack rooms maintained to a high standard. The inspection confirmed that all government property, cash, and exhibits were fully accounted for, reflecting the division's commitment to order and efficiency. In his address, ASP Williams emphasized the essentials of policing excellence, including discipline, accurate record-keeping, and community engagement. He also highlighted the importance of welfare, weekly training, and consistent patrols. The inspection concluded with a reminder for all ranks to uphold high standards, remain vigilant, and foster trust within the communities they serve. Bartica man pleads guilty to DUI charge, fined $200,000. Andel Marslow, a 39-year-old resident of Lot 5, 4th Avenue, Bartica, appeared in the Bartica Magistrate Court today before his worship magistrate Tariq Muhammad. He faced charges for driving a motor vehicle while his breath alcohol level exceeded the legal limit, violating Section 39A(1) of the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act, Chapter 51:02. Marlowe pleaded guilty to the charge and was fined $200,000 or faced 3 months imprisonment. Fugitive arrested after 2 years for human trafficking. HGP Nightly News reports, in a significant development, police have captured Tito Brown, a 45-year-old fugitive convicted over 2 years ago for human trafficking. Known as Tommy and Yankee, Brown was arrested following an intelligence-led operation just hours after returning to Guyana. Brown was convicted in March 2023 and sentenced to 2 4-year prison terms for trafficking 2 Jamaican nationals. He also received an additional year for withholding the victims' passports, along with a $200,000 fine and an order to pay $6.3 million in restitution. Initially arrested on April 28, 2021, Brown was remanded on human trafficking charges, but secured high court bail and fled the country before the conclusion of his case. Investigators are now awaiting a warrant to formally commit him to prison. This is a developing story. AG Anil Nanlal confirms, U.S. can seek extradition of Azruddin and Nazar Mohammed for fraud and money laundering charges. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nanlal, has confirmed that Guyanese businessman Azruddin Mohammed and his father, Nazar Mohammed, will be extradited to the United States once a formal request is made by American authorities. Speaking during his weekly program Issues in the News on Tuesday, Nanlal said that no official request for extradition has yet been received but assured that Guyana is ready to act in accordance with the law once the process is triggered. The U.S. Department of Justice has indicted the Office of Foreign Assets Control OFAC, sanctioned Mohammed's on 11 criminal charges, including wire fraud, mail fraud, and money laundering. The charges stem from alleged schemes involving the export of gold from Guyana to the United States through their company, Mohammed's Enterprises. These indictments were long in the pipeline, Nanlal stated. The OFAC sanctions sent the first signal. So, no one ought to be surprised that these charges were eventually laid. Extradition process outlined. The Attorney General explained that extradition between Guyana and the United States is governed by a 1924 treaty between the United Kingdom and the U.S. and the Fugitive Offenders Act, which was amended in 2024. This process is a legal one contained in an extradition framework between both governments, he said. Once the request is made, a series of legal steps will be followed as outlined in the legislation. He noted that extradition cooperation between Guyana and the U.S. has been consistent and successful, emphasizing, "In Guyana's independent history, I know of no request for extradition that has been refused by any government of Guyana." Nanlaw reaffirmed Guyana's commitment to honoring its obligations under the existing framework, adding that the country is awaiting the U.S. request before the matter proceeds to the local courts. Responding to political claims, the Attorney General also dismissed allegations that the U.S. indictments were politically motivated or influenced by the governing People's Progressive Party, PPP. To conceive that the PPP can influence the mighty U.S. Department of Justice or its law enforcement agencies is outrageous, Nanlaw said. That must be the product of a special mind. Guyana Police Force strengthens community ties in Region No. 3. Assistant Superintendent K. Griffith led a police team in a series of community and school engagements across Regional Division No. 3, aimed at strengthening partnerships and raising awareness on key safety issues. Outreaches were conducted in Peter Street, Purika, Zilugt Housing Scheme, and La Parfaite Harmony Station District. Business owners received advice on enhancing security measures, such as employing security guards and installing CCTV, and were reminded to refrain from selling alcohol to minors. Discussions also addressed issues like noise nuisance, proper garbage disposal, and reporting suspicious activities. Residents expressed appreciation for the police's proactive presence, raising concerns about break-ins, loitering after dark, and sand left on roadways. At Laguan Secondary School, Sergeant Lewis and his team engaged over 100 students and 14 teachers on topics including road safety, school discipline, bullying, peer pressure, substance abuse, and gang involvement. The session reinforced the force's firm zero-tolerance policy on domestic violence. These initiatives demonstrate the division's commitment to bridging gaps, building trust, and ensuring community safety. Police conduct successful 4-day narcotics eradication operation in Upper Burbus River. A team of police officers led a successful 4-day narcotics eradication operation in the Upper Burbus River from October 3rd to 6th, 2025. Ebony Savannas. During the operation, officers discovered a 3-acre cannabis farm with plants measuring 3 to 6 feet tall and a makeshift camp, which were both set on fire. A police drone revealed another 6-acre site about 4 miles away, containing approximately 5,000 cannabis seedlings and additional items, including a shotgun and 4 pounds of dry cannabis. The cannabis found in the area has a street value of about $5,082,000. No arrests were made, but approximately 30 pounds of cannabis were later found in an abandoned church. Wiruni. In Wiruni, police searched a 2-story wooden house and seized about 90 pounds of cannabis, which was also destroyed on site. A .32 pistol and 2 phones were found and lodged at the Kwakwani police station. Additional searches in the area yielded more cannabis plants and a 15 HP Yamaha outboard engine, both of which were confiscated. No arrests were made throughout the operation. Eden Corbin admitted to practice law in Guyana. Mr. Eden Corbin has officially been admitted to practice law throughout the jurisdiction of Guyana. The momentous occasion took place on October 6, 2025, when his petition was presented by Mr. Roysdale Ford, SC, and Dr. Dexter Todd before Honorable Justice Nicolas Pierre. In a heartfelt statement, Corbin expressed gratitude to God for empowering him with the gift of law and guiding him to this significant milestone. He thanked his parents, Jacob and Hester Corbin, and his sister, Charissa Corbin, for their unwavering support. He also paid tribute to his late grandparents, David and Amelia Quinton, and Rockford and Viola Corbin, acknowledging their pride in his achievement as the first lawyer in his family. "This is an extraordinary milestone," Corbin stated. "I have been able to materialize a dream I have had for many years. I am excited to commence my journey in the legal field and grow within the profession." He reflected on the resilience and commitment it took to reach this point, emphasizing his readiness to take on the challenges ahead. Corbyn holds an LL.B, PG. Cert, LL.M, and LEC, and is eager to embark on his legal career as an attorney at law. Chile and Guyana seek further opportunities for trade and investment. News source Guyana reports, Chile and Guyana have reaffirmed their commitment to promoting the Latin America and Caribbean region as a zone of peace, while signaling intentions to explore enhanced opportunities for trade and investment. This announcement came during the celebration of Chile's 215th independence anniversary at the Guyana Marriott Hotel on Tuesday. Prime Minister Mark Phillips noted that as sister South American republics, Guyana and Chile actively engage within regional integration mechanisms such as CELAC, the OAS, and the CARICOM-Chile framework to address fundamental issues concerning regional stability. He stressed the responsibility of the region to chart a path toward a more equitable, secure, resilient, and sustainable future. Through these mechanisms and our collective efforts, we have managed to maintain peace and stability in our region, supported by shared values such as democracy, the rule of law, and respect for sovereignty, Prime Minister Phillips stated. He also highlighted the importance of combating transnational organized crime and maintaining the region as a zone of peace. Chile's ambassador to Guyana, Bernardo del Pico Rubio, echoed the importance of maintaining peace, emphasizing Chile's commitment to democracy, international cooperation, and the peaceful resolution of conflicts. Guyana and Chile share these principles and are staunch promoters of them worldwide, Ambassador Rubio remarked. Since establishing diplomatic relations on July 22, 1971, the bilateral relationship between Chile and Guyana has steadily grown, with Chile opening an embassy in Guyana in 2015. In the area of trade, Ambassador Rubio expressed Chile's desire to strengthen ties with the Caribbean and proposed the establishment of a joint trade committee in Guyana. This committee could serve as a platform for greater engagement, coordinating shared priorities and identifying opportunities, he stated. Cooperation between the two nations has extended to various fields, including diplomacy, renewable energy, food safety, and education. Prime Minister Phillips further noted that areas of collaboration also encompass aviation, mining, and port security. Chile has partnered with Guyana in capacity-building efforts, providing training programs in Spanish, diplomacy, and geology. These initiatives have deepened our bilateral engagements, creating partnerships that offer tangible benefits to our people, he added. In June, Guyana and Chile held their first political consultation, establishing a framework for continued engagement and exploring additional areas of cooperation. No constitutional crisis over Azruddin Mohammed's indictment, says when Prime Ministerial candidate Tabitha Sarabohali, the prime ministerial candidate for the We Invest in Nationhood, WIN, party, has firmly stated that claims of a constitutional crisis, in light of Azruddin Mohammed's indictment, are misleading and politically motivated. In her address to the press, Sarabohali highlighted the constitutional framework governing the qualifications for members of parliament in Guyana. She emphasized that the Cooperative Republic of Guyana's constitution does not bar a duly elected MP from being sworn in or assuming the role of leader of the opposition due to an indictment. Articles 155 and 156 clearly outline the qualifications and disqualifications, which do not include indictment. She rejected claims that Parliament is in crisis, asserting that it remains constitutionally intact and functional. The position of leader of the opposition is determined by the non-governmental members of the National Assembly, and there are no legal barriers preventing Mohammed from being elected to that office. Sarabohali criticized calls for a consensus candidate, stating that the people of Guyana voted for representation that reflects their democratic choice, not for consensus behind closed doors. She deemed efforts to override this will as disrespectful to the electorate. Furthermore, she pointed out the selective outrage regarding indictments, recalling that President Irfan Ali faced 19 fraud charges related to state land sales before becoming president. Despite these allegations, there were no cries of constitutional chaos at that time. Sarabohali concluded by asserting that the Constitution should apply equally to all, emphasizing that if it was acceptable for Ali to assume office under similar circumstances, it is equally valid for Mohammed to hold the position of leader of the opposition despite his indictment. She called for consistency and adherence to the rule of law, rather than political theatrics. Minister Vindhya Prasad hosts open-door sessions at Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security was bustling with activity on Tuesday as Minister Honorable Dr. Vindhya Prasad held open-door sessions for members of the public. Over 81 individuals attended, sharing their challenges, hopes, and concerns directly with the minister. Minister Prasad's hands-on approach reflects a commitment to empathetic and compassionate leadership. She took the time to listen to each person's story, ensuring that they felt genuinely heard and supported. Accompanied by dedicated staff from various departments, the ministry demonstrated its ongoing dedication to improving the lives of citizens. This initiative reinforces the government's commitment to creating a society where every individual feels seen, heard, and valued. As the open-door sessions continue, Minister Prasad aims to foster a strong connection with the community, underscoring the importance of public service and engagement. Minister Todd attends Italy, Latin America, and the Caribbean Conference. The Honorable Hugh Hilton Todd, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, attended the 12th Italy, Latin America, and the Caribbean Ministerial Conference on October 6th to 7th, 2025, in Rome. Themed, Italy, Latin America, and the Caribbean, a growing partnership. The conference was chaired by Italy's Deputy Prime Minister Antonio Tajani. Key discussions included economic partnerships, energy cooperation, and legal diplomacy ahead of the 4th EU-CELAC summit. Minister Todd emphasized the evolving global landscape since the forum's inception in 2003 and highlighted challenges like economic inequality, climate change, and food insecurity. He advocated for shared solutions and reinforced by regional partnerships, viewing the Italy-LAC mechanism as crucial for addressing common challenges. Minister Todd stressed the importance of international trade in strengthening relations and called for enhanced collaboration and free trade agreements to promote sustainable growth. The Italy, Latin America, and Caribbean Ministerial Conference is a biennial forum organized by Italy's Ministry of Foreign Affairs in collaboration with the Italian Latin American Institute, IILA. Minister Todd was accompanied by Mr. Colin Luckey, First Secretary of Guyana's Permanent Mission in Geneva. Odella, released on $75,000 bail for robbery. Big Smith News Watch reports the larceny case against 18-year-old Akeem Aaron John, known as Odella, encountered a setback when the virtual complainant failed to appear in court for the second consecutive hearing. Principal Magistrate Faith McGusty subsequently granted John bail in the amount of $75,000. John, a resident of James Street, Georgetown, is accused of stealing a bag containing $122,000 from market vendor Leo Prasad on September 10th at Stabroek Market. He initially appeared before Magistrate Annette Singh, where he entered a not guilty plea. In his explanation, John claimed that he picked up a bag he noticed while walking through the market, unaware of its contents. He stated that when Prasad began chasing and shouting at him, he ran in fear and was struck by a car during the pursuit. John maintained that he never opened the bag or took any money from it. However, police provided a contrasting account. A police officer testified that Prasad reported John had escaped with the bag and later identified him in the market, leading to his arrest. The prosecution opposed bail, citing the seriousness of the charge and concerns that John might not return for court appearances. They also highlighted that John had provided several false names during his arrest and while receiving medical treatment. In a troubling turn, John alleged that while detained at the Stabroek Market outpost since Monday, he was beaten by police officers and denied medical attention until the morning of his court appearance. When the case was called before Magistrate McGusty, the prosecutor confirmed that Prasad, who was absent from the last hearing, did not attend again. The magistrate noted that Prasad's absence indicated a lack of interest in the case, emphasizing that John could not remain in custody indefinitely under such circumstances. Despite the prosecution's opposition, the magistrate ruled in favor of John's release. The case is adjourned until October 31st for further report. Hannah Camellia speaks out as Rudin Mohammed persecution. In a statement she wrote, "My brothers and sisters in Islam, we are reminded that the Ummah is but one body. When a single limb is wounded, the whole body feels the pain. To remain silent in the face of oppression is to deny the very command of Allah, who calls us to stand firmly for justice, even against ourselves. Today, your brother Azruddin Mohammed faces trials not for wealth or power, but because he dared to stand for the truth about the suffering of the people. Yet today, he is being persecuted by those who call themselves his fellow Muslims. There is no greater shame than to see a believer turn against his own brother, aligning himself with oppression instead of justice. Injustice does not become lighter because it comes from a familiar face. Those who wear the cloak of leadership yet take delight in their brother's trials expose only their own hypocrisy. They have not harmed him. Instead, they have dishonored themselves. Everyone must know that persecution cannot diminish the one whom Allah strengthens. Azruddin stands not alone, but with the prayers, loyalty, and solidarity of countless brothers and sisters. Above all, he stands with Allah, who is the guardian of the oppressed and the destroyer of falsehood. And what shall be said of those who wear the cloak of scholarship yet rejoice at the hardship of their brother? Such hearts have strayed from the mercy of Islam. Shame on those who dance with oppressors while pretending to lead the faithful. A true imam is a shepherd of compassion, not a spectator at another's suffering. Fellow brothers and sisters, I humbly appeal to you. Let us rise together, in strength, with courage, mercy, and conviction. Justice is the very soul of Islam, and silence in the face of persecution is a betrayal of our covenant with Allah. Let us stand united for what is right. Local government minister meets mayor and city councilors on Georgetown revival plan. News source Guyana reports, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Priya Manikchand, held a meeting today with Georgetown Mayor Alfred Mentor and city councilors to discuss ongoing efforts aimed at enhancing the capital city's image. This meeting comes in light of President Irfan Ali's recent announcement of a city revival plan, which aims to transform Georgetown. The discussion focused on creating a clear pathway to support the revival plan. Mayor Mentor emphasized the importance of greater collaboration between the government and the city council to effectively serve the residents of Georgetown. It is important that we do so because at the end of the day we are servants of the people, both the ministry and the council. And we have a mandate to keep the city clean and provide necessary services, whether it's drainage or otherwise, the mayor stated. Mentor expressed a commitment to moving beyond political divisions, stating that he and the council are ready to partner with all stakeholders, including the government, to revitalize the city. We will work for the people regardless of politics. The decision to do that is to be able to bring about cleanliness and provide services to persons, he said. In a brief statement following the meeting, Minister Manikchand highlighted that the work involved in the revival plan extends beyond sanitation and physical cleanliness. She stressed the need for a cultural shift in service delivery for city residents and improvements to the city's infrastructure. It's more than just sanitation. It's how we welcome people and treat people. It's how they feel when they come into our city, she noted. Minister Manikchand has been actively visiting markets and other areas in Georgetown to assess the city's needs. Today's meeting with the city council served to address many of those identified needs, laying the groundwork for a collaborative effort to enhance the capital city. Government to introduce strict truck weight regulations for new Demerara River Bridge. The government of Guyana is set to implement stringent weight regulations for trucks and heavy-duty vehicles using the newly inaugurated Barrett Jagdeo Demerara River Bridge. This initiative is part of the broader strategy to modernize the country's infrastructure and safeguard against road damage. During a traffic management update on Monday, Minister of Public Works Juan Hill announced that the cabinet has approved new weight limits that will soon take effect. He noted that the previous Demerara River Bridge only permitted trucks weighing up to 18 tons. The regulations have been approved at cabinet, and I'm in the course of putting them into order, 15 tons per axle. That is the weight we are allowing on bridges and roads across the country, Minister Edgehill stated. These measures aim to prevent the damage caused by overweight vehicles, which significantly contribute to road deterioration and expensive maintenance costs. To enforce the new regulations, the ministry will install weigh-in-motion scales at strategic locations throughout the country. Additionally, 1,000 truck clamps have been procured for the Guyana police force. When you're caught overweight, it's not just a ticket. We are clamping you, and you're going to stay there until the excess weight is discharged. Because if we allow you to continue, you're making the damages as you go along, the minister emphasized. The new bridge, which was commissioned on Sunday, is designed to accommodate heavier traffic volumes and is part of the government's comprehensive strategy to enhance connectivity, improve safety, and protect infrastructure investments. With the combination of modern bridge infrastructure and strict regulations, the government aims to ensure that Guyana's expanding transport network remains durable and efficient, supporting the growth of trade and commerce in the region. Gold hits $4,000 an ounce for the first time. In a historic milestone, gold prices surged to $4,000 per ounce on Tuesday, marking the first time this threshold has been reached. This increase is driven by strong investment demand amid ongoing geopolitical and economic uncertainty, coupled with expectations of further interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. So far this year, gold has risen by 51%, bolstered by significant central bank purchases, heightened demand for gold-backed exchange-traded funds, a weaker dollar, and growing interest from retail investors looking to hedge against rising trade and geopolitical tensions. Notably, the first quarter of 2025 saw gold record its strongest quarterly return since 1986. Gold is traditionally viewed as a safe haven in low-interest rate environments and during times of economic instability, making it a popular choice for investors seeking to preserve value against inflation. The recent government shutdown has left traders and policymakers without access to federal data, including the crucial monthly jobs report. Key inflation figures for September are expected next week, leading investors to depend on secondary, non-government data for insights into the timing and potential extent of Federal Reserve rate cuts. Markets are currently pricing in a quarter-point cut during the Fed's upcoming meeting on October 28th to 29th, along with a similar reduction anticipated in December. Michael Langford, Chief Investment Officer at Scorpion Minerals, stated, "I see gold reaching $4,300 per ounce over the next 6 months as the US dollar is expected to continue to depreciate." Billionaire investor Ken Griffin expressed concern over gold's emergence as a safer asset compared to the dollar. He remarked, "We're seeing substantial asset inflation away from the dollar as people are looking for ways to effectively de-dollarize or de-risk their portfolios vis-a-vis US sovereign risk." In a bullish move, Goldman Sachs raised its December 2026 price forecast for gold from $4,300 to $4,900 per ounce. Additionally, data from the People's Bank of China indicated that the country's central bank added gold to its reserves in September for the 11th consecutive month, highlighting ongoing global interest in the precious metal. West Burbus woman remanded for murder of sister. Allison Walters, a 55-year-old woman from West Burbus, has been remanded to prison following a murder charge in connection with the death of her sister, Barbara. Walters appeared before Magistrate Michelle Mathias at the Blairmont Magistrates Court on Tuesday. During the hearing, it was revealed that on October 2, 2025, in Plantation Ross Village, Allison allegedly fatally stabbed her sister with a knife. Without legal representation, Walters was not required to enter a plea for the indictable charge. Police Prosecutor Sergeant Garfield Edwards informed the court that the case file is still incomplete and that further legal advice is required by the police. Magistrate Mathias emphasized the seriousness of the charge and ordered Walters to be remanded. She is scheduled to appear in court again on November 7th, with the case set to be transferred to the Weldad Magistrates Court.